Remember that story we just reported on about Vladimir Putin deploying the Yars mobile ICBM just about 700 kilometers from the Baltic troops of NATO? Well, guess what? Russia has now just deployed 60 mobile ICBM launchers for a massive scale military exercise. Now, according to TASS news agency, they do report, now this is the Russian outlet now, that over 60 standalone Topol-M and Yars missile launchers are making intensive maneuvers on combat patrol routes from the Tver region to the Irkutsk region, according to the Defense Ministry statement. Now, I believe that the Tver region is also the same region where that Yars missile system was deployed to. So now we've got a report that 60 are in a military exercise in that very region. 60 mobile missile launchers right there in striking distance from NATO troops. Now, this is from the official Russian Defense Ministry statement. They write, quote, overall, some 1,700 items of large-size hardware are used in these maneuvers. The Yars missile launcher, as you know, is a Russian MIRV-equipped thermonuclear weapon, intercontinental ballistic missile, which some reports say can carry up to 10 independently targeted warheads. So now you've got 60 of these things right there, very close to the Baltics, where the NATO troops are stationed. No word of this in any media outlet. We got to go to international sources, Russian sources, to bring you this news here in the United States. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Subscribe for updates. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up and share this report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.
I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, and peace and salutation to all you Akim that are preaching this word throughout the four corners of the earth, and peace and sincerity to all the rest of you fellow brothers and sisters, that are waiting upon Yahushai, for deliverance. This is Hawayaahla. Just as you've seen in the video, you see that Russia actually has, ICBM mobile, deployment missiles that are basically ready to be shot. And they're doing some military exercises, and all those military exercises are for is to basically be used when the games officially begin. And right now, with what's been happening, of course, we know that you had the United Nations General Assembly that just occurred. You actually had, pretty much Putin and Obama kind of taking kind of shots at one another over differences concerning issues going on in Syria. And right now, with that not basically being resolved, all it's going to do is just lead more and more to this World War III. And it's a great response from what we're seeing from Putin in terms of him basically now showing and flexing that might, all right, that has been given to him. Really has been given to him by the Most High, because the Most High set Russia up in the last days to be the main adversary against Babylon. Okay, and this is something that's prophesied in the scriptures, that this is going to happen, and that Russia eventually, along with their allies, are going to shoot those missiles upon Babylon and have it completely destroyed, which has been prophesied, to happen for thousands of years. This is something that has been really known, really from the beginning, but now it's been made manifest, to those that believe, on these scriptures, that this is the understanding, of the times that we're in. And so, man, this thing is not tearing at all, man. This thing is definitely going to go down, and what's eventually going to happen is that you're going to have different events unfold, in between now and the time that those missiles are shot off. So, this is a very important time for us to continue to stay upon our watch and realize that, at any time, things can change, especially here in Babylon, but also, throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start at the top. This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Okay, so this is talking about the Medes, which is basically today referred to pretty much Russia or the former Soviet, Union, right? Because they've actually had, gotten their allies together and they've linked up also with Iran. So that whole region and territory, in that area, in the old Soviet Union area, and then also the Iran all the way up through, that's pretty much the area of the Medes, or back in the day it was called the Medes and the Medo-Persian Empire. But the head of that is the Medes, which basically is not talking about the original inhabitants of the land, but those that are in the land now, which are primarily Edomites, that today as Russians or former Soviet people. Okay, so that's what he's doing right now. He stirs up the Medes against them, which you saw in the first verse. This is the burden of Babylon. So the Most High is showing you that he's actually setting up Babylon versus the Medes, and that's who's being stirred up against them, and we see it today. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. So the bows, what is it talking about? It's not talking. You think that from where Russia is to America is that they can shoot an actual bow and arrow? No, it's talking about those thermonuclear missiles. Just like as you've seen, there was a movie that John Travolta did back in the day. It was called Broken Arrow, which is about a missing nuclear warhead. So an arrow is basically just a symbolic term for those thermonuclear missiles, because an arrow, an excel cannot dash a man into pieces. Okay, that's something that a missile can do. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, okay, because Babylon has been exalted above all the other, nations and kingdoms upon the earth, because that's the reason why when they have their United Nations General Assembly, they have it right here in Babylon, and all these different nations, they have to come here and basically, come to the glory of kingdoms, the head ruler on the planet, which is Babylon. The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? And how was Sodom and Gomorrah overthrown? It was destroyed by fire. So the same way that they went down, this is going to be even on a grand scale of them going down as well. Okay? It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Okay, so nobody's going to live here from generation to generation. It's going to be an uninhabitable wasteland. It's going to be a desert waste. Okay, and neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. So you're not going to see Ishmael, with a corner store being able to sell, things to Jake anymore. That stuff is going to be a done deal. Okay. And neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So all these false prophets that are out here, all right, that are basically leading the people astray, they're not going to be able to no more deceive the people. They're going to really be saved primarily to be destroyed here in Babylon, because that's the way the Most High set it up. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. So that's what's going to happen. The Most High is going to have these desert creatures and creatures that can survive these conditions after the destruction, pretty much live here. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their present palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So just this alone, and us understanding what's going to happen, shows you that the days of Babylon being destroyed is right around the corner. And so hey, hopefully this is edifying, and this is all exciting news. We know that this place is eventually going to go down. So with wisdom and knowledge should be the civility of our times, man. So this is going to make it easier for us to get through these times that are coming upon us. And again, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And again, peace and salutation to you brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.